Welcome to a new video on the Photography Minimalist. In this video I'm going to tell you about the frustration which I encountered using my Exakta RTL 1000. I have owned the RTL 1000 system for a few years now, and this camera was built back in 1970 in Eastern Germany, at a time that Exakta was part of the Pentacon company. This camera came with a TTL prism, which has its own internal light metering system. This light metering system I did not use for the photos that I'm going to be showing you in this video. I used an external light meter. I have 3 of these RTL 1000 camera bodies. This is the only one of the 3 that is in working condition. The other 2 I use for spare parts, just in case something breaks down on this camera. For the photos I used a Hanimex 28mm 3.0 lens. I would like to mention that the Hanimex 28mm 2.8, which came after this version, has very poor reviews on internet. And after using the Hanimex 28mm 3.0, I come to the same conclusion that this lens is of poor image quality. Even though the center sharpness is okay, you still have very heavy vignetting even at f8 and f11. So I went through my lens collection and I found a lens which I totally forgot about, which is a Pentacon 29mm 2.8 lens. A lens also which has an Exakta mount, and a lens which I'll be using for a next video with this camera. I used a roll of Agfa APX 100, and after shooting a half a roll of film, I thought I would take out the film and develop that first half of the roll to see what kind of images I was able to achieve. And to my surprise, many of the negatives were overlapping, rendering them useless. So I had a film advance issue with this RTL 1000. This camera does have an unreliable film advance mechanism. But even so, I was very careful putting the film in the camera, and it surprised me that I had overlapping negatives. So I checked the film advance spool to make sure that it was fixed tightly to the film advance lever. That was not an issue. So I thought for the second half of the roll, I would tape the film leader with a small piece of celluloid tape to the film advance spool to make sure that it has a tight advance. After shooting the second half of the roll, I again was surprised that I had overlapping negatives. So for some reason, which I'm still trying to figure out, I have a film advance issue with the RTL 1000, which is a waste of time, and of course it's a waste of money. And that brings me to a very important point, and that is reliability. I already have 3 camera bodies. I only have 1 working, and the only 1 working body is giving these film advance issues, so that is very frustrating. Something to be aware of when you're active in film photography using older cameras. Okay, now we've had that issue, and I'm going to be bringing out a new video once I solve this issue, and then I'll be using the Pentacon lens instead of the Hanimex lens. In addition, I also used a Telewesterner 135mm 3.5 lens, with which I made 1 image which I can show you. So in total, because of the problem with this camera, I was just able to squeeze out 11 images that I can show you in this video. I'm not sure when the next video on this Exakta RTL 1000 will come out, because I have to solve the issue first. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.